Yeah.
Good morning, class. How's everyone?
We're great. How are you?
Pretty good last one. Happy you guys can struggle with me. So today, you're probably wondering why I'm dressed so casually. I swear it kind of relates to my PowerPoint, my topic. Alright, so as all of you know, being a college student is hard. With life throwing difficulties at us every day, we struggle with doing this every single day. If you come from a lower income family or even a middle class family, finding the financial support to afford college is difficult. Competing with others for scholarships is also a very challenging task. And for some, however, their talents in a sport can lead them to a higher education at a predominant school that they wouldn't dream of going to any other way. And for that, this is my topic: why college athletes should be paid. Fun fact, these three are actually my shouldn't have touched it. Okay. These three are actually my cousins, and these two actually went on to become NFL players. He's actually being considered for the Hall of Fame in the NFL, so that's cool. So next. Like at every other school, student athletes are put on a special pedestal, and for colleges, that is even bigger. Dedicated fans and alumni spend thousands of dollars to support their colleges and are always at every sporting event like football games, basketball games, volleyball games, soccer games, anything. They're out there cheering on their team. For student athletes, I believe that they should be paid for their services. According to my survey, 56% of you also agree with my position. First, I will address the efforts, commitments, sacrifices college athletes make. Next, I will discuss just how athletes are employees to the university they attend. And lastly, I will explain other benefits athletes should get if salary just isn't going to happen. But before all that, I would like to point out that I come from a family of college athletes that have seen the good and the bad of both of the college athletic world. Also, I've been researching this topic for about 3 weeks to make sure that I understand both sides of the debate and before deciding where I stand. Firstly, I will discuss the efforts, commitments, and sacrifices college athletes make to help create revenue for their school. College athletes put in a lot of time to their sport and don't get what they earn in return from their school. According to Team Spirit, written by Adam Gontinik, and the NCAA, which also stands as the National Collegiate Athletic Association, sets a limit on scholarships schools can reward to their athletes in different sports. In many schools, to get a full ride scholarship, which covers all college expenses such as tuition and room and board, a student must compete in at least one of these sports, which is football, men's or women's basketball, gymnastics, tennis, or volleyball. This is understandable because these sports are the sports that tend to bring in the most revenue. This is about $2.9 billion for 150,000 students in every college, which is a lot of money, but that doesn't equal just how much these students bring to the college. The NCAA policy and academic standards require student athletes to have a graduation rate of 70%, which is maintained throughout the country, but the only way many of the student athletes that help contribute to this number reach these classes is by taking what is referred to as paper classes. Paper classes are classes that don't require much work or attendance to get a good grade. According to the data from my survey, 44% of you know a college athlete, and with that being said, you may wonder how they are able to keep such high grades, a good social life, and still exceed in their sport. This is just one reason. This, in return, doesn't pay off for the students, because students who go to these high, big-name colleges should be getting the most out of these schools, which means attending classes with the best professors, and getting the most out of everything. By them not getting the correct education that is offered, they aren't being prepared for the future that they may have if going professional just isn't in their future. So what do they really get in compensation? Gamesmanship, belief, and ethical decision making of college athletics by Bradford Strand, Sean Brotherson, and Tyler Tracy. The average college student puts in 43.3 hours of work into their sport. That's a full-time job plus 3 hours of overtime. On top of that, they are supposed to take on a full college load, which might not be the case if they take paper classes. Sorry. This is a difficult task for anyone, but people do it, including college athletes. If this much time is being put into their sport that makes hundreds of millions of dollars, isn't it possible that the institution can make somewhat of an effort to give students a little extra money? Many of these student athletes miss out on having normal college experiences, which they understand because this is the life that they chose, but they also miss out on important family and other events. I'm sorry. Next, I will discuss just how athletes are employees of their college. Student athletes are employees of their college. According to Should College Athletes Be Paid by Kenneth J. Cooper, published in June 2011, many college coaches are keeping track of their athletes' social media accounts. Why would they do this? It's to make sure that these athletes aren't saying anything that will put their college name in bad light and will keep money coming in. This is for colleges to make sure that business is booming. The NCAA makes an estimated $11.11 billion, which is more than all National Hockey League teams and a majority of NBA teams, which is National Basketball League teams. With this being said, almost none of the money actually goes back into the school, so where does it go? The money actually goes into the pockets of coaches, athletic directors, and administrators. To me, this seems like colleges are only seeking to pay these people tons of money if these people are winning. According to Christopher Parents for Progress, the analyst of whether student athletes should be paid, college athletes are free marketing for their institution. With more success in their sports, the higher application that the school receives, which in result makes more money for the school. If it weren't for the devotion for success by many teams, many of the huge universities wouldn't have the notability they are known for. And this is a picture of the top paid public employees. And as you can see, many of them are either football or basketball coaches.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're making millions. Lastly, I will discuss other options that colleges could take to ensure that college athletes are taken care of if paying them just isn't an option. Should college athletes be paid by Horst Mitchell and Mark Edelman? Mitchell disagrees with the idea of paying college athletes a salary. However, he does suggest other things that colleges should offer students. Mitchell suggests that universities should go back to the idea of allowing students the right to a 4-year college scholarship. Things happen every day that people can't control. And one of the things could unfortunately be the college athlete's athletic career coming to an end due to an injury. Colleges clearly have enough money to supply someone they had hope in the right to a free education. No one can predict such things, but colleges should be able to just colleges shouldn't be able to just drop someone, especially when they get hurt making money for the school. Another great point Mitchell makes is that if college athletes are technically getting paid with scholarships, these students should also be able to receive employee benefits such as medical benefits, workers' compensation, financial security for their family. They also should have the right to endorse a product. Universities are getting free marketing out of these students, so shouldn't it be right for the students to sign with a big company like Nike or Adidas in order to create their own revenue? If the NCAA allows things like this to happen, debate for universities to pay their students would be no longer. In conclusion, now that I've made it clear on why I believe that college athletes should be considered employees of their institution, I hope that you can understand my views also. College athletes put a lot of time and dedication into their sport with the hope of making it big and making a living for themselves and their family. Colleges use people to help promote their school and get more money any way possible. Most, if not all, colleges are multi-million, even billion-dollar industries that thrive off students with talent levels that are good enough to make them more money. With that being the case, colleges can find a way to give these kids something for what they work for. College athletes take a different responsibility than other college students. They are the face of the school, and what they say or do represents the school more than anything else. University representatives, along with the NCAA, should take note and give them a little extra for their sacrifices, commitments, and efforts. They should also consider just how much time, work, and money they bring to each company involved. And lastly, they should consider other options to ensure athletes are getting something, if not money. And that is it.